I'm on the causeway out to the island of Romo in Denmark, and it's about a 10-kilometer causeway and bridge out to the island here. I'll see how things go. I might stay here 2 days. I don't know. I'll have to look at the calendar and see how things are going and figure out the weather too. Today was, I feel like a broken record, but today was extremely hot and might have been the most challenging of all. 130 kilometers, and it was, I think I drank 8 bottles of water, but I'm almost there, so we'll see how things go. But I can smell the sea. It's the first time I smelled the salt water. The people seem really friendly and really inquisitive. When I stopped to get money at a grocery store earlier, I was pretty much mobbed as soon as I stopped. The older folks didn't speak English or German. And the people that were my age, a bit older, they were speaking English really well. And then a couple young girls came up. They couldn't speak any English, but they did speak German. But really inquisitive, and I'm seeing a lot of waves and things like that. You might notice that I'm on the side of the road because the bike path network that I enjoyed in Germany is unfortunately gone. But the behavior of the drivers so far, I haven't been honked at all day or anything, and I always keep a good eye on that rearview mirror, watching people as they come up, making sure that they're going to move over so I can make an evasive maneuver if I have to. But so far things look good, and there's a lot more bikes on this bike path too, so it's not strange for them to see a bike over here. But yeah, okay, we're on the bridge part now, and there's water underneath both sides, so we'll be there soon. Well, good morning. Today is Wednesday. It's a rest day for me. I was gonna tool around the island. I still am gonna tool around the island and sightsee, but I'm leaving camp here for today. But after I came back from breakfast, I thought, hey, why don't I do an inspection on the wheels and just take a look at the Velo, and found a broken spoke. So broken spokes have been a problem for me since owning this bike, but I did have both wheels relaced in Roermond in the Netherlands, and they relaced them with a heavier gauge spoke for me, but I did find one broken. I'm not going to really get too upset about this because you know, I've weighed the bike down a tremendous amount, and it could have happened, you know, in the first couple kilometers of the ride, or who knows when it happened. But, and you know, a spoke is not that hard to change. You have to remove the tire and the tube, and then you have to remove this what do you call it, rim tape. Remove the rim tape, and then your spokes are normally straight. Well, the problem with the Quest is you've got this wheel covered, and it's really difficult to remove. You end up having to bend the spoke. Not a big deal, but if you own one of these things, it's something you have to know how to do. That's perfectly fine. So I'll finish this up and get the tube and the tire back reinstalled, and then take a look at the rear wheel. But the rear wheel normally doesn't give me any problems. It's always the front wheels. So I started with just the front wheels. Looking at this rear tire, I found this wear point here. It's not completely through. I don't feel anything on the inside, but I already have it this far out. I'm not going to take any chances, because your rear tire on a 3-wheeled Velomobile or a recumbent trike is really critical. If you lose this rear wheel, you're in big trouble. Brand new spare that I brought with me, and then I'll fold the other one up and put it in the back as the spare. Good morning. It is, what day is it? I think it's Friday. Not even sure. Leaving the island of Romo, and it's not hot anymore. As a matter of fact, it's gotten chilly. I went from sweating like crazy and burning up to having to dig out my cold weather gear. Well, some of it anyway. I thought about putting on my hat this morning, but so the clouds came in yesterday. It got really windy. It started drizzling a little bit this morning, and I left camp at I left the campground at 7:15. I wanted to get an early start and get to my next destination. So I'm heading east back off the island of Romo, and then there's I'll be heading up the coast towards the town of Nimindigab. I know I'm mispronouncing the Danish pronunciation of that, but I can't figure it out. A fairly easy 120 kilometers today, not super crazy. So we'll see how the weather holds up. I do have my long pants on and 2 shirts on now. So yeah, not much traffic on the road yet, still pretty early. Just got some breakfast and talked to the lady at the grocery store a little bit. 3 big muffins and a coffee and a big pile of bananas. I only paid €5, so I don't think that's too bad. All right, take it easy. I'm here in the town square of Ribe, Denmark, which is near the coast, probably about 40 kilometers from where I started. And this is the church in Ribe that I was told to come see. It's got beautiful copper roof, copper sheath roof on this church. The other churches that I passed on the way up here were predominantly white. They were all painted white, and they had gray metal roofs to them. But this one here is it's fairly ornate, at least for here. And it still is a little bit cold. Everybody else is walking around in winter coats. I'm the only one here with shorts and a t-shirt on, so I'm going to get back on this bike here pretty fast. But just wanted to show nice scenery here. I beat the crowds, you know, nobody else around. But really neat architecture. And for the first time in the trip, I have broken out my foam cover here because it is really windy and cold. And man, it makes it nice and toasty in here, no matter really what the weather is outside. Your head still gets a little bit wet if it's raining, but other than that, it's perfectly nice in here. So, all right, we'll get moving, heading up the coast. Can I make it to Hirtshals by Saturday? If I can make it to Hirtshals by Saturday afternoon, on Saturday the ferry leaves Hirtshals Saturday evening, and it goes to the Faroe Islands. And then you can get off in the Faroes. The ferry comes back to Hirtshals, and then on Tuesday the ferry leaves again, and it gets to the Faroes a couple days later. So basically, you end up with a couple days in the Faroe Islands, and then you pick the ferry back up, and then you go to Iceland with it. So tomorrow's Friday, and I get the Klippmøller, and then if I can make it from there to Hirtshals, which I know I can, then I could potentially get on that ferry and then go to the Faroes. So the question is, would I rather see Skagen in the northern tip of Denmark, or go to the Faroe Islands? I have to think about that. I guess, who needs a dry dock when you just pick the boat up out of the water? See water pouring out of the bottom of it. Maybe they're flooding some chambers or rinsing it out or something. Well, good morning. Today is Friday, the 28th, and just set off from the campsite. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. A little bit of a late start today. I had to rest a little bit from yesterday. So today's goal is to see Klippmøller and then get beyond Klippmøller, hopefully halfway between there and Hirtshals. That's my goal. So I guess that's probably about 150 kilometers. Yeah, everything's going well with the bike. There was another bicycle camper at the campground this morning. Older German fellow He was from the south part of Germany. His German was difficult for me to understand, but he told me that he took his bike onto a train into the north of Germany, and then he's cycling up the Danish coast. And then he's also taking a ferry, but he's going to Norway. Not as much wind right now, which is a good thing. And the clouds come in, so the solar panel's probably not going to work very well, but I give it probably another hour, and then I'll put it on the roof and I'll see how it does. Well, I almost bought the farm. I just had a Danish truck driver just about run me over. It's really busy right now, and you can see the big truck just passed me. There's a lot of big trucks in this road. So I'll see if I can not get killed and get down to the next town here. Back on the coast. I'm at the town of Nimandekrab. Hard to pronounce, but nice looking place. On this Route 181, so there's still quite a lot of traffic on it. Anyway, so we're going to be on this road for quite a while. This road actually goes all the way, I believe, to Hirtshals, which is my final destination. And I've decided today that I'm going to press forward as much as I can today, try to cover as much ground as possible, so I can catch the ferry on Saturday to the Faroe Islands, which was not part of the original plan, but it is now. I found a campsite in the main town, which will allow me to park the velo there, and then I'll probably take the bus system to travel around the island, because the hills are pretty extreme there, and I'm not going to kill myself before I get to Iceland, so that's what I'm going to do. So I have to be at Hirtshals by, say, 1300 on Saturday. How many kilometers? Not sure. Maybe 300. Gotta look at it. Well, I'm on a ferry here. It's a fairly short ferry. Connecting two pieces of Denmark. I had to pay 60 Danish kroner to cross. They put me in with the cars, even though I told them I was a bicycle. And these gentlemen here were just asking me some questions. I believe the one in the dark blue was in the German forces. He said something about being posted in Munich years and years ago. But yeah, a nice day. See if I can get up and get a better view here. And there's some offshore wind farms. You can see them back here. They're actually building them out in the sea, and that must have been what that ship that I saw the other day was for, where they're actually putting the pilings into the ground under the ocean. Well, good afternoon. I'm here in the Danish coastal town of, and I'm gonna really screw this up. It's a really beautiful place. It's, I guess, one of only two places where they're pulling out the fishing boats onto the beach like this. And they've got some nice seaside cafes here. You can see the waves breaking, and I don't know if you can see in the distance the sand dunes that I've been looking at the other side of for so long. Now we can finally see the seaside of them. But really, what a nice place. And the sun came out, so yeah, the solar panel's getting a good charge, and there's lots of people out here enjoying the sun. And today being Friday, it's not too crowded. And you can see you've got a pier here that runs out, and I guess you can fish off of that. But yeah, just a really nice place. So I have about another 100 plus or minus kilometers until I get to the place where I'm going to camp tonight, which is in between Klitmøller and Hirtshals. And then that'll only leave me about 60 kilometers in the morning, which I can do in about an hour, 45 minutes to 2 hours to get me to Hirtshals. And then I'm there in plenty of time for the ferry, which leaves at 15:30. So yeah,
with that, I'm gonna leave you with these views, and I'm gonna go get a bite to eat because I'm pretty famished, starving. Did about 130 kilometers so far today, but beautiful day for it. Well, I'm still on the Danish coast. Probably another 20 clicks to the campsite I'm gonna try to get into. I've blown my one-day cycling record out of the water. Well over 200 kilometers, probably 230, 240 by the time I'm done. That's about 140 miles. And that's been with a wind on my nose the whole day. Things could be worse. So I'm in the town of Blokhus, which is between Klitmøller and Hirtshals. And I'm at the beach. And it's so windy that the Quest is moving on its own. Acting like a sail. Riding on the sand, but it's a pretty hard packed sand, so I was a little worried about getting sand up in the mechanism, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, here we are. Tomorrow, get up early and get to Hirtshals. And my good friend Soren Jessen, who was actually my boss, Kirsten, he's going to, oh, I found some deep sand. Okay, I don't think we're going any further. Anyway, he's going to meet me out there. So, good day. 215 kilometers, and going to go try to find some food and get some rest. See ya. Good morning. I've left Blokhus, the campsite, and stopped at the bakery on the way and got some breakfast, some Danishes, and currently heading up to a lighthouse. I think it's south of the town of Lønstrup. Maybe I got that wrong, but it's a lighthouse that's being overtaken by the sand dune, and it's been buried by the sand dunes, and you can still see portions of it sticking out. So I'm gonna go check that out. And a little bit chilly this morning, but only going to be cycling about 65 kilometers this morning to get to Hirtshals, so don't need the solar panel or anything like that. And yeah, we should hopefully be there by about 11:30. Well, I'm up on a sand dune on the Danish coast, and there's a lighthouse that the sand dune has swallowed and started to bury. You have to hike up across the dune to get to it. And I'm here inside the lighthouse here, and quite a view out here. But I'll be honest, it doesn't look too safe. It looks a bit weather beaten and rusted. All right, hold on to your hats. Better yet, take them off. Velo is out there somewhere. Left it at a parking lot. I hope it's okay. But you can see that there's many bricks here. There used to be some kind of structure or something, and I guess over the years it's been knocked down. The bricks are scattered all over the place. Or maybe people are doing that. I see people spelling their names with them here. Wow. So that's the radar reflector. They don't charge you to come up here, but there's a farmer that'll bring you up with a tractor, which is what I did. But it only gets you about halfway. You have to climb the dune by yourself. but it's really not that far. I think it's about 1.5 kilometers. So I'm probably just going to walk back. Try to get the Hirtshals. Well, feeling pretty good. I've got about another 4 kilometers and I'll be at Hirtshals. And I got a confirmation from the ferry company that they changed my reservation for me. So that's all in place. Yeah, so we'll leave and go to the Faroes today at 15:30. But until then, good friend of mine, Soren Jessen, who used to be my boss at Kirchen, he's driven up here to say to have a beer together and to see me off. So that's going to be really great to see him. Haven't seen him in over a year, and yeah, I'm just a couple kilometers away again from Hirtshals. Pretty much the northern tip of Denmark. You can go all the way up to Skagen. Skagen is really the northern tip, but I just had to make a choice between the two, and the Faroes is a pretty remote place that probably never have a chance to see, and it just worked out that here I am. It was quite a while, quite a long ways to get here. I think I did something on the order of 450 kilometers over 2 days. So the knees feel pretty good today, but I'm ready to take a rest for a couple days, and then on the 4th of July actually I'll arrive in Iceland and then begin the big climb there. So good. All right, see you later.
Well, I'm in Hirtshals and just checked in for the ferry. It's extremely windy, and I'm heading down to my lane that they want me in, lane 15, bicycles and motorcycles. So yeah, we'll get down here and hopefully they let me board. So the wind is really cooking. My friend Soren, he came up and we had lunch together. It was a great lunch at a cafe, local cafe, and it was kind of sad to see him go. I worked for Soren when I was a quality inspector for a number of years, and he's heading back down. They have a place in central Denmark where he's from, so it was quite a drive for him to come down here. But yeah, anyway, I'm in line now to get onto the ferry to go to the Faroe Islands. I can't believe I'm doing this.
And you can see how they load these tractor trailers. They actually back them onto the ferry. They actually push them back. These special trucks that they have, they're actually pushing everything on backwards. Okay, so thank you. Bye-bye. So I'm getting the go-ahead to load onto the ferry. Here we go. Let them get run over. Thank you. Oh, guess I gotta go up. I'm on the ship, the Smyrline ship, going from Hirtshals to the Faroe Islands, city of Tórshavn. And it's extremely windy on the other side of the boat. Figure I gotta come over here for a minute. So this boat is the one of the only lifelines to the island. As I was loading the Velomobile, I saw brand new cars being brought on, some of which that still had paper wrapped around them, so you couldn't even tell what kind of car it was. It must be a new model. But yeah, there's plenty of tractor trailers and of course lots of automobiles coming on and off. So the boat leaves at 15:30 and it arrives in Tórshavn tomorrow at 22:30 at night. So my plan of action is, as soon as I get off the boat, I'm going to go straight to the campsite right there in town, and hopefully pitch tent for the night. In the In the lower deck, I did see about 9 or 10 other bicycles, one of which had a little trailer. It looked like they were camping. Well, and that's for 6 people at max capacity, but thankfully there were only 4 of us in there. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. So that and a one-way ticket to Iceland run you about 315 euros. And that's breakfast included each morning, so you get 3 breakfasts, the pool and fitness center and things downstairs. Good morning. It is, what day is it? It's Sunday morning. I'm on the ferry, and the ferry is approximately 36 hours, so it's not actually morning, it's getting closer to noon now. Had a good night rest. I had accommodations in like a 6-bed sleeping berth. There were 2 Belgian guys and a guy from Faroe that were in the room. Yeah, overall a good night. Got some rest and just watching the seas go by. We're about ready to pass by the Shetland Islands. It'll be on the left side of the ship here on the port side. So I've got a window here to get a good view, and I think I see it out the window here. I think I can finally make out the land in the distance. Which would be the northern tip of Scotland and the northern part of the UK, the Shetlands. Yesterday we could see a bit of Norway on the right side of the ship, but since then there's no land to speak of. And after we pass the Shetlands, then we won't see anything else until we get to the Faroes. So that'll be about 10:30 tonight. And then the plan is to immediately get to a campsite, which is only a couple kilometers in Tórshavn. It's right on the water, but it's also right on a busy road. But I guess that time of night it shouldn't present too many problems. Pitch camp for the night, and I guess we pay in the morning. Since it's not manned throughout the night, but they said you can set your tent up and just worry about it in the morning. So yeah, not a whole lot to really talk about today, just relaxing and letting the knees recharge a bit. I was able to wash my clothes in the sink and hang those up, so I did realize this morning that I had left something in the Quest that I needed, so I asked reception. Normally you're not allowed down on the vehicle decks while the ship is in motion, but they did escort me down there, and I was able to get what I needed out of the Quest. And they have some enormous excavation equipment that's strapped down on the deck right next to the Quest. Pretty amazing to see what they put on these things, on these ships. So I guess they have this ferry, and then there's 2 or 3 other cargo ships that supply the Faroes with everything they need. And then there is an airport on the west side on one of the islands. It's a cross between a ferry and a cruise ship. They've got hot tubs, there's a swimming pool, there's a soccer pitch upstairs. A club here with music and live music. So yeah, they do a pretty good job. So do recommend it to come out here and see the Faroes once in your life. Good. All right. Take care.